Here. Steve Berger.
Here.
Sonny Ross.
Here.
Bob Cox.
Here.
Joe Combs.
Here.
Ask you all to stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Good crowd tonight.
We'll start with old business. Case number 1004, appeal request for the administration of city ordinance 1323.06.
Minutes first.
We should do the minutes first. Thank you. Has everybody had a chance to approve? Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes of the previous meeting?
Yeah, I'll make a
Go ahead.
motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve by Mr. Ross, seconded by Mr. Cox.
Russell Montgomery.
Yay.
Steve Berger.
Yay.
Sonny Ross.
Yay.
Bob Cox.
Yay.
Joe Combs. Yay.
All right, now we'll go to old business. Case number 1004, appeal request of the administration of city ordinance 1323.06, abatement by the director of zoning. Case number 1004 was tabled 60 days ago in order to give Mr. Randolph at 226 North State Street time to get a contractor together, get a plan together. Mr. Randolph, if I could put you up on the podium, we'll swear you in. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
Bruce Randolph.
Mr. Randolph, have you come back with anything for us?
I contacted several different contractors, but nobody gave me any kind of bid.
Okay, so nothing concrete to get it back in motion?
Just me.
Okay. I think that was the plan last time, too.
Do what?
That was the plan last time, too, was you, right?
That's always been the plan.
Gentlemen, you have any question for Mr. Randolph or any discussion?
Mr. Randolph, have you done any other work to the property at all?
I was told not to do it.
Okay, who told you not to? As far as like, did anybody come out, did they look at the property?
Yeah. No, nobody came out, but
Since
I
our
called
last
them.
meeting when we tabled it?
Yeah.
Before any motions are made, we do need to make a motion to remove it from the table. So I'll entertain a motion to remove this item from table.
I'll make a motion to remove it from the table.
Motion by Mr. Berger,
I'll second it.
seconded by Mr. Combs.
Russell Montgomery.
Yay.
Steve Berger.
Yay.
Sonny Ross.
Yay.
Bob Cox.
Yay.
Joe Combs. Yeah.
There's no further discussion. I'll also entertain a motion. We either accept his appeal and give him more time, or we deny the appeal and the wheels go in motion to have the property torn down.
I think in good faith, we gave him 60 days. I think at the last meeting, others were probably willing to move forward at that time. I think we've kind of given it enough time now.
And the fire was on June 2021, is that
Correct, almost 4 years.
That is correct. All right, do we have a motion? You can either deny the appeal or accept the appeal, and we can discuss giving him more time. Or if anybody has any additional questions.
What is the concern? What's being appealed?
I'm sorry, you are?
Mike, I'm just curious, can you elaborate on what you're trying to decide?
So Mike, we're not open for discussion tonight. This is a pending, a tabled issue from last month. If you want to read the minutes, they're public. Unless you have a vested interest in Mr. Randolph's property. You have a vested interest in Mr. Randolph's property? Okay, thank you.
Well,
Right, in general, we make it a point not to let people just kind of shout out questions. Thank you. No, there's no requirement for us to have a public hearing. All we're doing is hearing Mr. Lionel's appeal, and then we will go on to our next case.
I don't know how much discussion we want to get into, but obviously at the last meeting, anybody that was here understood that we really weighed things. I feel like we were very compassionate about the situation. And that is the reason that we gave an additional 60 days. 60 days have passed. I think that we would have expected some progress, and we're not seeing that.
Well, I can't force people to come out and give me a bid. I mean, you're asking me something. I can't go and twist somebody's arm and say, come out and give me this bid or do this job. If you rule against me, you're going to make me file bankruptcy and, lose my house that way. I just don't think it's fair. Anybody in here then can have that happen to. I mean, I don't cause any problems. I'm a citizen. I don't think that this is right in America. I could see it happen in, North Korea, but you people are going to tell me if I can keep my house or lose it? It's not fair. I mean, you can go and do what you want, but that's going to be on you guys.
Or do you think it'd be
I mean, I don't know why I'm in so much trouble when you got drug dealers, you got homeless people, they're sleeping on the sidewalk next to stores, and you come after me. I just don't understand it.
They're coming into that house as well.
No, they're not. I'm down there. Are you down there every day?
There have been people in that.
Are you down there every day?
Driven by it many
No.
times.
You
Mr.
don't know what
Randolph, we
you're
went
talking
through
about.
this at the last meeting. Guys, I'm going to entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to deny the appeal.
Motion on the floor to deny the appeal by Mr.
I'll
Ross.
second it.
Seconded by Mr. Cox. And the roll.
Russell Montgomery,
Yay.
Steve Berger,
Yay.
Sonny Ross,
Yay.
Bob Cox,
Yay.
Joe Combs. Yay.
If you have any additional questions, you can call the building department.
Okay. Then I won't be able to work on it, right?
That'll be at the behest of the building department. I mean,
What
we
you
just
said
voted
yay.
that the
What
city
is that
can,
for?
the city can move to tear your property down.
Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and put it up for sale, and then if it don't sell, I'll have to file bankruptcy. I sure appreciate
Mr.
it,
Randolph, you've
guys.
had almost 5 years, and we extended you another 60 days, and you came to us with nothing. I am sorry. I told you. I feel
and
for
I
your
told
situation,
you,
but our
I
hands are
can't
tied.
twist somebody's arm to make them do it. They wouldn't. Nobody wants to come out and do it.
All right, we're going to move on to our next item.
Am I done?
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay.
you. All right, new business, case number 015, zoning appeals request concerning the interpretation and administration of this ordinance by the official of the legislative authority of the city per 1179.01. Thank you. You're going to sign in.
I will do that.
Ethan, you plan on speaking? All right, we'll go over the overview. Zoning appeals request concerning the interpretation and administration of this ordinance by the official of the legislative authority of the city per 117901. Hilltop Performance is an automotive shop that's been in business at the location of 1002 Harrison Avenue since 2004. The business is a conditional use operation which had a limit to the number of vehicles on site of 8. Over the years, the business has grown as well as the number of vehicles on site. The building department staff has turned over since 2004, and the issue regarding the number of vehicles were brought to our attention around August of 2023. As a result of the information, the Building and Zoning Department provided notice to Hilltop Performance about the issue. Review of the files confirmed that Planning Commission put a limit of 8 vehicles on the site. Upon further investigation into the issue, it had been realized that the zoning had changed at the location. November of 2021, business districts of B1, 2, 3, and 4 were all combined to B business. This categorized all automotive businesses as permitted use. A year later, January 2023, all automotive zoning uses were changed to a conditional use to control limited business land within the city. In summary, Hilltop Performance is in the process of constructing a new building in a different location, and requests have been made to get the number of vehicles at the current site reduced. With the code change of 2021, though, it has been perceived that the condition on the business no longer applied. Permitted automotive uses put Hilltop in the same category as a tire discounters and Meineke. Others view the conditional use restrictions as applied to the business and not the zoning district of business. The understanding of a conditional use applied to the business has led the Department of Building and Zoning to issue a notice of compliance to reduce the number of vehicles on site. That appeal is what is questioned in this notice. Okay, Mr. O'Connell?
Yes, good evening, gentlemen. My name is
Just a second, I'm going to swear you in, so
Yes,
you could raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, could you state your name for the record, please?
Sure. It's Brian O'Connell of the law firm Strauss Troy.
All righty, you got 5 minutes.
Very good. Good evening, and thank you again for letting me speak to you. I'm here on behalf of Hilltop. My firm has previously submitted a written objection to the notice of violation dated April 2nd. If any of you don't have a copy of that, I have extras with me. I have just 2 points I'd like to make to you, both of which are contained in that written objection. The first is to say that Hilltop's use is fully in compliance with the 2021 ordinance, and by virtue of that ordinance, were grandfathered in when the 2023 ordinance went into effect. The second point is that the city has, even since the 2023 ordinance went into effect, has represented to multiple people, including my client, that their use is permitted use. I'm going to talk about each of these 2 points. As to the first, the assertion that Hilltop is in violation is incorrect as a matter of law because of the 2021 ordinance. By way of brief history, in 2004, Hilltop was an area zoned for conditional use, which required Hilltop to obtain a conditional use permit, which limited its use to 8 vehicles. However, in November of 2021, the city approved changes to its zoning ordinance. Under the 2021 ordinance, the district was changed to a general B use, which provided that businesses engaged in auto sales and services were permitted uses. That change superseded and released Hilltop from the original conditional use. Hilltop was free to have more than 8 vehicles on its property, which it did. Subsequently, in January of 2023, the city again changed the zoning ordinance. These again made auto businesses a conditional use, which would necessitate a conditional use permit. The city is now apparently taking the position that the 2023 ordinance somehow resuscitated the 2004 conditional use restrictions. That assertion is incorrect as a matter of law. First, the institution of the new ordinance in 2024 cannot serve to revive the 2004 use permit, which itself was nullified by the 2021 ordinance. Second, it is black letter law that Hilltop cannot be subject to the 2024 ordinance because it was an existing business that was in lawful operation under the 2021 ordinance. Both the Ohio Constitution and the City of Harrison Code provide that if a change to a zoning code causes a use of land to become unlawful, where such use was lawful prior to the change, the land may be continued to use in the previous lawful manner as a non-conforming use. And the citation for those authorities are contained in my written submission. In layman's terms, Hilltop's use of the property is grandfathered in by virtue of the 2021 ordinance. This leads me to my second point, which is to say you don't have to take my word for it to accept this as true. The city has, on multiple occasions, represented that the use by Hilltop is permitted. In your materials are communications from both the mayor and the Building and Zoning Department. The first, which is marked as Exhibit F in your materials, was a response by the mayor to an inquiry to Channel 12. The mayor was asked Does Hilltop Performance have any code zoning violations as it sits now? The response from the mayor was unequivocal. No, Hilltop's Performance Accessories does not have any violations. They have been good community partners, and the owners have been accommodating as the city has made adjustments to its zoning requirements. Significantly, that statement was made in February of 2024, a year after the 2023 ordinance went into effect. The second communication I'd like to direct your attention to is Exhibit E in your materials. It's a letter from the City of Harrison Building and Zoning Department in which the city stated, 1002 Harrison Avenue, the property in question, was a B1 business approved by conditional use with conditions limiting the number of vehicles allowed on the lot. In November of 2021, the City of Harrison approved zoning changes eliminating B1 business district, making it a general B business district. B business districts allowed for the automotive service without the conditional use process. The Harrison Building and Zoning Department views the zone change as eliminating the conditional use requirements on the lot. The letter concludes, when businesses by conditional use is brought back to a district, existing businesses within that district will then go from conforming to existing non-conforming. The business will be allowed to operate as the previous conforming business so long as it operates in the same capacity, which is what Hilltop has done. Based upon these facts, what I submit to you is clear Ohio law. Hilltop's use of the property is not in violation of your zoning ordinances. I appreciate your time. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. I hope that was close to 5 minutes.
You were spot on.
I was planning on 10, so I thought.
May I ask a question? Rob?
Yes.
It's also code that you can't have a vehicle sitting there for over 72 hours. There's so many vehicles and so few bays at that repair center. Are they all moving through in that time frame?
You know, I do not know the answer to that question. I would say, though, that issue is not before the panel today because it's not a part of this notice of violation.
Okay.
That would be a separate violation.
Okay,
a separate
fair enough,
review.
fair enough.
Great point, though.
I don't understand the dispute, though, because the business is relocating, correct?
It is in the process of relocating.
Okay.
I don't have an exact time frame
Yeah,
on that.
it's being
They're-
built, yeah.
They're looking forward to it. It's a beautiful new building.
And they will leave that address to 1002.
1002.
Thank you.
I believe they will still own that
Okay.
parcel, but I believe the business itself is
Fair
going to be
enough.
moved to the new
Thank you.
location.
Do we have a ballpark date of when they're gonna make the move?
I don't know that I can commit to that. I believe it's done essentially, but what we're waiting for is the blacktop work to be done, for example, and we're waiting for the asphalt plants to reopen. I think they have. I think we're looking at 2 or 3 months.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions
Any
for
other-
Mr. O'Connell?
Are there any vehicle sales there, or is it all repair and service work? Do we know?
I'm sorry, I don't know the
Okay.
answer to that. I know it's sales of accessories, for example,
Okay.
for vehicles.
We'll allow Ethan to answer that. You sell any cars up there?
Okay, thank you.
Anything further?
Any other questions for Mr. O'Donnell? Okay, we'll have 3 minutes for rebuttal by the city. Gordon?
Okay. Yes, similar to what the client has said, in 2004, Hilltop Performance did open as a B1 business district under a conditional use limiting the number of vehicles to 8 on site. That number of vehicles has steadily increased over the years. The site was thought to be in violation of the conditional use conditions, and a review was conducted. November of 2021, the zoning district changed from B1 to B, as he had mentioned. It did become one general business zone. The B1 business automotive use was by conditional use, and in B business automotive use was permitted. Per a similar case, it was a Hussein versus Germantown, which regarded the zone change. It did have similar circumstances, and they did rule that the zoning conditional use did go away. However, if you look at zoning books, it does refer to a conditional use as being a condition to the business and not the land. It can be viewed that a conditional use is a contract between a property owner and the authority having jurisdiction. The decision to bring the notice to compliance to the lot of 1002 Harrison Avenue was based on the condition that the conditional use is a condition to the business and not the zoning, therefore allowing enforcement of those conditions set forth there.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Wong?
So in my understanding, this is a moot point once they move, because it only applies to that business. So if it goes for sale or they lease it, there's no way that another business coming in there, either lease or purchaser, could say, okay, well, it's grandfathered in for us as well.
That is correct. It is just for this business. Once something moves in, it would be treated the same as any other place like tire discounters, Meineke. Any automotive business coming into town would have to go through Planning Commission.
Okay, thank you.
And your schedule has been interrupted by all the flooding, right, which has shut down the asphalt plants. Is that fair?
What's that?
Because you don't have asphalt because of the flooding, didn't that shut down the asphalt plants? Oh, okay, all right.
Winter.
The asphalt plants don't normally. Mr. O'Connell, would you step back up there, please? We'll open this up for discussion. So you said you had specific Ohio law saying that the conditional use would not run with it?
Yes,
What was specific?
we have, bear with me for a moment.
Everything I've looked at,
That,
and read, and asked questions about for the last month have said it is open to interpretation,
Boyce versus-
including our own ordinance.
We talking about Boyce versus Village of Ottawa Hills? Is that the case?
Yes, that is the case. And that stands for the proposition that I recited to you earlier, that where you have an unlawful use and a subsequent change, the land may continue to be used consistent with the prior use. And it's in Ohio Constitution. And it's the rationale underlying that is the idea that you can't have an ex post facto law. Once a citizen has acted in reliance upon a particular law being in place and undertook a business, they're allowed to continue to do that even if the law changes. And again, that's not just any statute that's in the Ohio Constitution, it's also in the City of Harrison Code. The code number, I don't have a copy with me, but it's chapter 1155. Similarly, since here we have, again, on top of that, we do have the actual statements from the city personnel itself, from the mayor, from the building department, telling the citizen that, no, this is okay, this is a permitted use. Again, I think citizens should have the right to expect consistency, predictability from the government in the application of this. And if I could respond just briefly to what Mr. Wong said, we do disagree fundamentally that the zoning laws attached to the business versus the district. It attaches, in fact, to our interpretation of the law is that it attaches to the district. And so when that changed in 2021 and it became general business, it's as if the 2004 conditional use never existed. It was fully superseded and nullified. And they were entitled to continue to operate then even after the 2024 change because of the law that I just recited to you.
Okay.
The one other point maybe I'll mention, because lawyers don't know when to stop, is that if this were a situation where it were to be enforced only against Hilltop, you would have a potential equal protection violation under what's known as a class of one concept if you were to enforce it against Hilltop, but not against Meineke or tire discounters or whoever else is out there.
Right, but you're only citing this one non-conforming case that you put in there, this Boyce versus Village of Ottawa Hills, correct?
That's the only one in my written material. That's the only one I can cite to off the top of my head, or in our materials.
Okay.
Mr. Law Director, can I pose a question to you?
Yeah, you can, whether I answer it or not, depending on whether the attorney-client privilege conversation.
Okay. Understood. Are you familiar with the case law he's talking about?
Somewhat.
Would you be in agreement?
I think that would be something I would not want to say due to the fact that the attorney-client.
Understood. I'm not even gonna ask you about the second case law then. Okay.
Yeah, I think what Mr. O'Connell is arguing is that it is law, and the Harrison Code is, in my opinion, open to interpretation. I believe that it is existing non-conforming. That's my opinion. That is not based in anything other than my opinion. Sonny, I think you were going down the road of, do we table this and let him move, and it's a done deal? You know, the window of 60 to 90 days is a little iffy.
What's our max? How long can we table something?
60 is pushing it, I think.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too long, yeah.
No, it is not. Thank you.
It said this was public.
We were advised by the law director that we do not have to have public input at a hearing tonight.
That's what's on the website.
Why were the property owners, adjacent property owners invited to?
We're gonna hold on just 1 second before we start firing questions here. Bill, it is correct. We don't have to have public
Right, so
opinion
this
tonight.
is not it's not like a variance or a change or in the zoning code, it's just a matter of a law question, so it's not as if the surrounding property owners will be affected either one way or the other by it, because it's already an issue regarding law, so it's not like someone's wanting to build a fence or wanting to extend a driveway or encroach upon a setback, it's just a pure legal issue, so there's really no other issue other than the legal issue, so no public comment. I don't know. I can't tell you. I didn't do the website. I didn't do the website, so I can't tell you.
Well, if it's questions about law.
Let's just
you gotta ask questions
give
about law.
me 2 seconds to read this over real quick, if you don't mind. Yeah. We're gonna open it up to the public hearing.
That's the public notice off of the website.
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Cox. Okay. Any other questions for Mr. O'Connell? Okay, Mr. O'Connell, you can step
All
up.
right, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Yep. Now, if anyone would like to speak, you can come up and sign in. I'll swear you in, and you will have 5 minutes just like everybody else. So anyone pro or con can step to the podium and speak now if they wish.
Or we just sign in.
You just sign in right up here.
You gotta sign in.
Did you sign in yet?
Nope. Well,
Come on, you're here every month.
I know. I haven't made it today after watching
You
a
know the
2,
rules
4,
better
and
than I
6-year-old. I just have a quick question.
All right,
I
could
was-
you raise your right hand?
Yes.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
Say, I do.
I do.
And you can state your name for the record, please.
Janet Kiefel.
Janet, welcome. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. The only question I was thinking, once you guys move and that land is still there and it's not sold, are they going to be able to use it to store vehicles?
You can ask the board the question.
Yeah.
not
Will
the-
they?
not the-
Okay.
I don't know. We'll have to ask Mr.
What is-
O'Connell. He doesn't seem to know the answer to that. He already answered that question.
But yeah, I just wondered, once they
Okay.
move, will they continue to use it for storage if they don't have the space?
Do you have any
to
future
do-
plans for the building, Ethan? I mean, it's for sale now, right? First person comes with the cash gets it. You sound just like Ethan. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else like to speak? I'll ask you to step to the podium. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
Steve Hickey.
Mr. Hickey, you have 5 minutes.
The first thing I want to bring up to the attention of the board is in 2004, when all this went through on the conditional uses, and I quote, Ethan stated that none of this would happen. None of these vehicles would be stored. That was when Hank Manager, Branditz, a bunch of people were on the board. There wouldn't be a junkyard. That was the big concern of that hearing back then. These are the records of that hearing. He stated it would not happen. He also stated that he was only going to do like vehicle, like visors, stuff like that. Does that sound right, Ethan? Accessories. He's a full auto shop. He's been a full auto shop for 20 years. No one's raised Cain about it. He's not allowed to do it. He was never allowed to do all that under his conditional use, but everybody let him do it so he could succeed. And he took advantage of this situation. The other thing is in 2021, and this is according to this, if you guys change the zoning, first of all, my question to the zoning board is if you guys put a conditional use on something and then they take it away, why are you here? What purpose do you serve the community? That makes no sense. The other thing is in 2021, if this happened, we weren't notified. My dad owned the building back then. And by law, we are to be notified through first-class mail. Mike Ringel, he never received anything. Nobody received anything. And it states that you must contact us by law if you're going to, and I believe the wording would be rezone, redistrict property, or redistrict property shown on the official district map, notice shall. Not coulda, woulda, shoulda, shall.
What year was that?
I'm going back to 21.
21.
21 and 22 and 23, these years, it's all there. I mean, they covered it themselves. The city did. When this started, August 3rd of 23, I believe, is when I called you, wasn't it, Gordon? Somewhere around there?
Around there.
Your exact comment to me was you didn't want to be the bad guy, that they're going to be moving within 6 months. And I said, your job is to enforce. And I said, just because they're going to be leaving in 6 months doesn't mean that you can go out and commit crimes for 6 months and then leave. This is a year and 9 months this has been going on. And I got news for you. If the city says that he's in violation now, then he was in violation a year and 9 months ago now. That's clear, it's stated. It's on their own paperwork. None of us was notified of anything. You guys can't change our zoning and change things without letting us know when there's conditional uses involved in this. And I believe there's something in the ordinances about if it affects more than 10 businesses. And I guarantee you that if you guys change our district map, I went through this once before on a piece of property with this city. And if you change that district map and you didn't notify everybody and it involves more than 10 business, come on. This is crazy. Some of these vehicles have been there for 6, 7, 8 years. Danny Brock's vehicle's been there for a year and a half sitting there, a Jeep. There's another one that's been sitting there forever. There's a trailer that's been sitting there, I know, for 10 years. Do you guys want to live next to this? He agreed to it. And I quote, he agreed to all this stuff. It's his own quotes back in 2004. When I talked to you about all this, it took me 5, 6 months to get one piece of paper from you and Matt that clearly showed the only thing that changed, and you told me to my face, and I'll bring recordings in at a later date if we got to continue with this matter, that was put in play because of all the new used car lots that have been going out on Harrison Avenue. That's why that got changed. That his didn't.
All right, Mr. Hickey, do you have anything else relevant to the conversation?
I just think that everybody ought to take a look and realize if the zoning board of appeals gives a conditional use, that you got to stick to it. And if you're going to change it, then you gotta abide by your own rules, which is law, and notify all of us of what's going on. You can't change that map. You can't change the zoning.
Okay, thank you.
May I make a couple comments for the record?
Absolutely.
Okay, first of all, planning commission does the conditional uses. None of you guys
Right.
deal with the planning, conditional uses. Number two, when it comes to the zone change, if more than 10 lots are involved, it is only required to put a public notice out. The law realizes it is impossible to notify every single person when you're changing a map. Lastly, I'd like to say, keep in mind, you're making a decision on an appeal to the interpretation of the ordinance, not on how this lot is being used. This is an appeal to the interpretation. Let's keep it at that.
Okay.
But doesn't the law
Any
say
question?
that you gotta notify them, Gordon?
Mr. Hickey, we're not gonna shout from the audience. If your time is up, if you'd like to rebut Mr. Wong, you can step back up to the podium.
Under that section, Gordon, doesn't it state that you have to notify if they're gonna redirect, rezone, that you have to notify adjacent property owners and stuff?
If it is under 10 lots.
If it's what?
If it is over 10 lots, you do not have to notify everybody.
It doesn't say that.
Yes, it
It
does.
says it shall be notified.
We're not going to discuss this. This is not a part of.
Can I grab the paper and
of
read
this.
what's on the ordinance?
This is not a part of the
Actually, this
case.
is irrelevant to what we're dealing with tonight. I do understand your concerns. Obviously, this has been a big deal for a long time, but what we're doing tonight.
I'm
is
just quoting law.
we're
You
just-
said law.
Right, no, and we have nothing to do, the planning commission and council have everything to do with the zoning. We are the appeals. We don't make the law. We take the appeals, and that's what we're asked to do tonight. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
I understand a lot.
Thank you. All right, any other discussion on the appeal, the specific appeal?
Can I come up and talk? Yeah, there's more people that want to participate.
Certainly.
Okay. Simon?
Pen quit working.
Oh,
Can't finish signing.
City pen.
Meeting's over when the pen stops working.
Thank you.
Timothy
Do you swear to
Ward.
tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You please state your name for the record.
Timothy Ward.
I will add, Mr. Ward, that any information you give will have to be relevant and not in addition to Mr. Hickey. If it's redundant, we'll ask you to stop.
Okay.
Thank you.
All I wanted to let you guys know is that I used to take care of the property at 1002 Harrison Avenue for them. We were friends, okay? And I can tell you that he has quoted to me his conditional uses, that he knew that he had conditional uses and that he doesn't give a shit. His exact words were, I don't give a fuck what Harrison says. I will do what I want to do. I'm here to make money, and they can't stop me from making money. He's known that he's had conditional uses and didn't care what they were, you know?
Okay.
And I mean, this is, like I said, I've been friends with him, you know, I was friends with him for 12 years. I took care of the property for 12 years, you know? So he's made it apparent that how he feels about the city, the mayor, you know, so on. And that he doesn't feel like he has to abide by anything. This has been his exact words. So,
Okay. Anything additional to add to that? All right, thank you, Mr. Ward. Anyone else who'd like to speak, just step up in order, please. Sign your name, I'll swear you in. You got your 5 minutes. Do You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Absolutely.
I do. It's fine.
So I'm Michael
And
Ringel.
if you could state your name, thank you.
I'm Michael Ringel. I
You have 4
own the
minutes, sir.
property across the street from Hilltop and from the Hickeys. I attended the meeting back in 2004. That was not long after I was building my building at that time. I will say that I do recall Ethan stating at that time that he would absolutely abide by the 8-car rule when Mr. Menninger proposed that stipulation on the conditional use. And of course, there's always been more than 8 vehicles there. Ethan's done work for me. You know, I have no ill feelings about him. I'm just am concerned about the number of vehicles. It is a concern that I have as a business owner. Okay?
Okay.
That's all I have.
You give me the dry pen, I'll get it off of there. in case somebody-
Well, this is a bad one.
Yeah, that's the one I want to get.
Did anybody have any questions for Mr. Ringel before you step down, Mr. Ringel? Okay, thank you, sir. Anyone else care to speak? Any rebuttal from Hillside, or Hilltop, I'm sorry. You can step to the podium if you don't mind. We are recording this.
None of what I've heard from anyone here has changed the legal question in front of you, which I submit to you is governed by the Boyce case. That is Ohio Supreme Court precedent. It's binding. It's not persuasive, it's binding. And under that, because of the 2021 ordinance, my clients are grandfathered in as an existing non-conforming use. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, gents, any discussion? Questions, comments, concerns? I kind of said my piece. We're in a bit of a, what I believe is existing non-conforming grayish area according to the city ordinance. Hilltop has presented it as legal fact. The appeal would be basically to let him keep whatever number of cars he wants up there versus 8.
May I ask a question? Is there a compromise here since you have new property? Could you relocate some of those cars and get down to the 8 count? The answer is no. They're all Jeeps. Okay. Yeah.
I'm inclined to table for 30 days because I think there's a lot of unanswered questions here. Number one, I want to make sure we get this right. I think it's important that we get it right. So I'm not in a hurry to make a decision tonight. This is my opinion.
Is 30 days sufficient?
I don't believe it is. I think we should probably go for 60 like we did. We were trying to show compassion with the case that was here before us. If it could become moot in that time period potentially, I think it's worth just kind of doing that. Maybe it doesn't even become an issue.
Is there any legal issue with table for 60 days, Bill?
You guys do eventually have to render a decision.
Right. Understood. Right. Whether we table or not, when we come back, we do have to make a decision on the appeal. So,
I'd make a motion to table for 60 days.
there's a motion on the floor by Mr. Ross to table the issue for 60 days. Any second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Berger.
May I make a suggestion? 60 days to the date of the 4th Tuesday.
Yes.
Is that the correct day?
Maybe it's probably not identified, table it to whatever that date is. Yeah. Have the minutes reflect the actual date.
Okay.
June 24th?
June the 24th.
I'll make
I
a,
would
or rescind our motion.
You can add on. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to go ahead and make a motion to table it till June 24th, 2025.
There's a motion on the floor. Need a second?
I'll second it. I'm sorry.
Seconded by Mr. Berger.
No, I already did.
Any other discussion before the roll? Okay, Gordon.
Wilson Montgomery.
Yay.
Steve Berger.
Yay.
Sonny Ross.
Yay.
Bob Cox.
Yay.
Joe Combs. Yay.
All right, we'll see you in 60 days. With there being no further business before the board, I will also recommend a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Ross,
I'll second it.
seconded by Mr. Berger. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. You have any questions?